Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Foocast. My name is Finn and I'm joined by Jaden.
Howdy.
Howdy! How's it going? Dude, What If trailer just came out today.
Yeah, I know. Also, that was rude. Yeah, I see how I was, and you just went straight on to the topic
Yeah,
today.
I realised how rude that was. I just continued saying just like, oh, what if? And I realised, like, in the back of my mind, I was like, that was rude. I was about to apologise straight afterwards. But you're good, yeah?
Oh, mate. I'm pretty good.
Good, I'm glad.
Pretty damn good.
I'm pretty damn good as well. I'm happy actually. I've had a good few set of days, and that's rare. You know when you get like a good, like consistent set of really good days in a row.
Yeah.
That's what I've had, and it's good.
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
what if?
Yeah. What if? Real quick, what if is something that we've known since like what 2019?
I believe so. Was it at the, what do you call it?
I think it was at Comic Con, wasn't it, in 2019?
I believe so, or I think either Comic Con, like 2019 Comic Con, or the, what do you call it?
Is that the Disney thing you're on about?
The Disney thing.
Yeah, I think that the trailer was shown at Disney. I think it was announced like way before then, and it was
Okay.
it was always something that I'd watch, but it was never something I was like insanely excited about. Pure, not because of what it is, but because it doesn't look like it's really connected to anything else in the live action scale. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like you've got all these like amazing things, and then there's just What If. Like, no offense to What If, but it's like, that's competing with like WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it just at the time it was just like it doesn't really something that interested me because it's not anything like anything else in the grand scale of the MCU. Like, it's not all connected. But I kind of forgot about it, and the trailer just popped out of nowhere today, and it looks really good actually. Like, I'm genuinely invested. What do you think?
It looks pretty damn good.
You know what the animation kind of reminds me of? It's it's elements of Star Wars Resistance mixed with Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And I actually really like the style of animation that they got going. It's like, oh, you know how you got like different animation styles, and then like you got different people that like look different and stuff. If that makes sense, so like all these different animation
Yeah,
style. It's like
yeah.
yeah. I really like the style of animation that they're going for, and it's just I'm actually I'd it's something I'm quite invested in now. Actually, it looks really interesting. Plus, it's always something how when you get all these different shows and movies, and you're just like, oh, what if this happened? Or because I've had loads of conversations about like with other people, but like, oh, what if Iron Man didn't actually get the missile out of New York? Or something completely different. What if there wasn't an egg on the Sulago at the end of Aliens? It's all these little different, just like, what
Yeah.
if this happened? Because everything else would completely change. And because the grand scope of the MCU is just so massive, there's so many different alternate stories you can tell.
Yeah. When I first like heard about it and I heard it's gonna be like animated, I really wanted it to be like some sort of like
Live action.
thought. Yeah, no, not live action, but sort of in the style of Love, Death and Robots.
I I've heard of it. I've actually never seen anything of Love, Death
Yeah.
and Robots,
So
which is actually a crime that I haven't done that because I know David Fincher's
yeah,
involved in that.
Love, Death and Robots is actually pretty damn good.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like their style of animation. Each episode has a different style. So say like one episode's like an anime sort of style,
Mhm.
another one's like close to being realistic, another one's like 3D, another one's like black and white sort of thing.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do that sort of thing because that way like every like different story has a different style.
Yeah.
But
It,
I'm I'm still like fine with what we got here.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to. Have you ever seen that small clip of Star Wars Visions? You know, you got the sort of anime-esque Star Wars stuff. You know,
Yeah,
I think a few of those storylines have got different styles of animation.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's like this looks really good, but imagine if, like, for example, two different stories with two different animation styles. There's like so many different things you can do there.
yeah. Like also like further on in like in the trailer that we just got like what a few hours ago, you can see that there's a collaboration in characters.
Yeah, it's cool because, um, you know, in the MCU, there's always like a set of characters where it's like, what happened if these people met? You know, it's like, would they get along?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what if Thanos met Ultron? What the hell would happen then?
Yeah, like what if you know how in Avengers like Loki was under Thanos, right?
Yeah,
What if instead of that it was Ultron under Thanos?
yeah. It's like stuff would be completely different like that. It's just these little changes. You know,
Yeah.
it's fun to explore different possibilities and stuff. And I don't know a whole lot about the different storylines, but the ones that I'm aware of is Tony Stark and because in the first part of the trailer, Tony Stark and Killmonger they go off and do their own thing,
Yeah.
and I think it's interesting to explore because what happened to Iron Man in that moment, Tony Stark, is the whole missile thing. That whole moment is a big part of the MCU, and if that didn't happen, where
Pretty much just kicked it off.
yeah, it's like what would happen if, you know, like that didn't happen to Iron Man. That's such a big
Yeah.
moment, you
Do you
know.
think they'll do it in like the sort of style of the MCU movies? How like the first episode to be like Iron Man and Killmonger. What do you call it? The second episode will probably be like I don't know, something to do with what? I don't know, something else. But then they'll have like Thor afterwards, and well, you know, Captain America or sorry, Captain Carter, should I say?
Uh-huh.
Like that sort of thing. How like it sort of correlates within like the movies.
As in that they're all connected to each other.
Yeah, so do you know, like, obviously, like, MCU, Iron Man starts off first, then it's Hulk, then it's Iron Man 2, Thor, then Captain America, then the Avengers. That's, like, your whole
Uh-huh.
phase one sort of thing, I'm pretty sure. But
I'm
then,
not
like,
actually too sure, to be fair.
guess we'll find out.
I don't
I
know.
mean,
Like, what would you prefer?
if it's all over the place, I'm still fine with that.
Yeah, it's like if
Like,
it's
I'm good with both. Like,
yeah,
if it's, like, correlated, if it's, like, in sync, or it's just, like, different episodes have different things, and then, like, the last one is, like, them all collaborating, I guess.
yeah. I do think it'll be very interesting for the different stories to be like very contained. It's like say this is just an example, right? Say if Tony Stark didn't get the missile out of New York, the whole of New York explodes, right? That's a lot of plot lines in New York that can just be gone.
Yeah.
Or something. But if it is connected and they've got a
Like,
reason for it to be connected, then I think
yeah,
that would be
like,
quite interesting.
How was it? Vulture or Adrian Toomes, is that his name?
Uh-huh.
Officially known as Adrian Toomes as his real name.
Mm-hmm.
He would have, he would be, grabbing tech and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, damage control would be dead, pretty much.
When you said Adrian Toomes Vulture, I was like, wait, is he in this? I thought back, I was like, how did I miss him in the trailer?
Yeah.
So I went back to thought, but it's interesting to see. It's like Killmonger and Iron Man. You'd never see them be put together. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting. And going back to what you said as well, it's like, wait, what were you talking about again?
How, like, wait, how, like, if they do, like, the episodes,
Yeah, yeah,
how,
yeah.
like, if they're related, if they, like, do, like, okay, first episode of What If is how Iron Man and Killmonger meet, and then, the first MCU movie was how Iron Man
Yeah.
became Iron Man.
Yeah. I do think that it would be yeah, it's interesting to look at all those like different possibilities and stuff. I get what you're saying as well. It's like if this happened, like it's like for example, if that thing in New York happened, the Vulture thing would never happen, or if it did happen, it would lead to different things. Maybe he'd get more tech. Maybe he actually accomplishes his goal in Homecoming, for example. You know, it's like one thing
Yeah.
happens and it leads to a bunch of other different things.
Mm. Um, there was this Twitter poster, well not poster, but like cap of a poster that was like sort of released for What If. I'll see if I can find it because it shows like all the characters, not all the characters, but
Uh
just
huh.
a lot of the characters.
Considering it's like, you know, when you get posters these days and it's just character stacking, you know, that's like every single Disney, just
Yeah, yeah,
anything
I've
Disney
got it,
poster,
got
right?
it here.
It is a solid poster, by the way. I know it's not like a massive
Yeah,
deal, but it is a good poster.
yeah. So you're like, if for the viewers that have not seen the poster yet,
Uh huh.
so you've got Peggy Carter as Agent Carter. I mean, Captain Carter,
Uh huh.
not the Agent Carter TV show.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Marvel Zombies as so you've got Hawkeye and Captain America as
And
Marvel
there was
Zombies.
yeah, an Iron Man one in the trailer as well, wasn't there?
And, yeah, and Iron Man, yeah, the Iron Man was in the trailer as well.
Mm-hmm.
You've got, I believe, Steve Rogers in the supposed Iron Man. Well, I'm not sure if it's actually Iron Man, but he's in the similar-looking Iron Man suit, which I
Mm-hmm.
believe that, you know, gonna make a bit of a funny pun here. Peggy Carter's gonna ride him. Um,
You need to stop.
what else could I say? We got
That is a nice looking like Hulkbuster thing, by the way. And I'm happy that they've.
it does.
I collect a lot of Lego stuff, right? And even though they did
Yeah.
get the color scheme wrong, like instead of being like a beige green, it's like bright green. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
probably one of the best Hulkbusters we've seen. And I would say MCU, and it's kind of is MCU, but it's probably like it is cool seeing like a World War II Hulkbuster.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like the 1940s, so what else can you expect?
Yeah, it's just it's cool to think about. It's just like another thing is, I'm not sure if you noticed, but one of the plot lines of one of the episodes is what if Tony Stark went to Sakaar instead of Hulk?
But yeah, I know, like, nearly all the storylines for this thing.
Yeah, it's like because yeah, you might have to walk me through a few of these because I only know like four and I don't know how many
Yeah.
episodes there are. But it's just like him being on Sakaar, like that'd be like that's a whole different. You know, like that's completely changed. It's like I've seen some concept art and there's like a Sakaar Hulkbuster. You know,
Yeah.
it's just concepts like that. It's just like a Sakaar Hulkbuster. Just imagine the colors, imagine all the different like all the different things on Sakaar. Then that's part of a Hulkbuster now.
Have neon lights on it.
Yeah, it's cool to see like different characters in different situations, how those characters would react to those situations, and how those situations would end up. You know, would it end up completely different to how it actually is when Thor and Hulk escaped, or would it be like exactly the same in a slightly altered way? It's cool to think about. There's loads of times where, say for example, you know, if you see Infinity War, it'd be like, oh, what would happen if instead of Thor coming at the end, Captain Marvel comes out of nowhere? What would happen if Captain Marvel was there in Infinity War, for example?
Yeah.
You know, or imagine if like Ego was still alive, or imagine if Odin was still alive. What would happen in Infinity War?
Yeah, like, what if, you know, like, let's think of a good what if situation.
Or what if
Um,
Hela actually took over Asgard? You know, her
Yeah.
whole goal of
Yeah.
yeah. I can actually see that being
What
one
if-
of the
what if-
episodes,
what
to be
if- what
fair.
I haven't heard anything about that, so.
But I can
don't
imagine it
think
being
so.
that. It sounds like something
Yeah.
they would do, but what were you saying?
I was gonna say, like, what if Hela, like, succeeded in her goal, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking back at this poster, we've also got um, what's his name? Bloody Black Panther. Well, not really Black Panther, but
T'Challa
you know,
Star-Lord.
yeah, T'Challa Star-Lord,
Mm-hmm.
looking slick as anything.
Yes, which is...
Uh,
Sorry to cut you off real quick, but that is sad because
that's fine.
that's Chadwick's last performance.
That's his last performance.
Yeah.
But
I
now
was
everyone was
listening
like,
and...
oh yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't. Can't believe they didn't get his. Can't believe they didn't use Chadwick Boseman for this. And they're like, no, they did. This is his last performance.
Yeah, I was listening, I was just like, oh, I said they didn't get Chadwick, and I was like, wait a second, that is Chadwick. And I remembered, like, oh crap, they probably did
Yeah,
this before he passed
they got
away.
a lot of the. They got a lot of the voice actors back for this.
They didn't get Robert
Apart,
Downey Jr.
yeah, they didn't get RDJ, Chris Evans, Tom Holland.
Oh, wait, did they not get Tom Holland?
No,
Oh.
and did they get Chris Hemsworth?
I think they did get Hemsworth. Point is,
Okay.
it's like, say in live action you don't get the right actor, right? That changes completely. But if you get a voice actor who can sort of mimic the voice, then that's
Like,
fine,
doesn't
isn't
really.
it?
Well, it does better, but if you get like someone who like listens, like or not listen, who sort of like talks the same and has like the same vocals, I guess.
Yeah, it's like as long as you got
It
the
doesn't really
character
matter
nailed
then.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. We also got Gamora in her Thanos-looking armor with the Thanos blades
Uh
from
huh.
Endgame,
Mhm.
which that's one of the storylines there. I'm pretty sure, which is what if Gamora stayed loyal, I guess, to Thanos.
Yeah, that is a pretty interesting concept to explore because, like, it's what happened. It's like what was I gonna say? That's what Gamora could have became if,
Yeah,
yeah.
but she's in the trailer. I think she's still with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So.
Uh-huh. I did see that there was one where they were hanging out with Thor as well.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Um,
I think you are right where they're all being connected because I'm looking at a shot right here of the trailer. You've got T'Challa
Yeah.
Star-Lord and you've got like Thanos Gamora.
yeah, and then and what? At the end, near the end of the trailer, um, Captain Carter is fighting the evil Doctor Strange.
Uh-huh. Oh really?
Because that's another storyline as well. What if Doctor Strange, I think, was like, what like it was something happened between Doctor Strange and like Dormammu. He went to Dormammu's side, I guess.
This could be wrong, but I think I read something if it's like what happens to Doctor Strange if he loses someone that he loves. I could be wrong, and I probably should have looked more into this, but this is like just like I'm always like fully aware on what's going on with every other thing in the MCU except for this. So
Yeah.
for me, this is sort of new.
I think it's yeah. What if Doctor Strange stuck by Dormammu or something like that?
Yeah, that's
It would
another
make
really
sense as well.
that's another really interesting concept to explore as well. It's like, it's like I'm trying to think of another example. What if Star-Lord was just like Ego? That's the entire galaxy gone.
Yeah.
And- Yeah.
As I say, we also got Spider-Man with a cape.
Mm-hmm.
By the look of things.
I'm actually
Now-
surprised that they got Spider-Man in this, considering it's like Marvel Studios.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Spider-Man there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to be the same storyline, but in the comics, like Spider-Man with a cape is what if Spider-Man never became a hero in the first place, and he stuck with his wrestling and became a TV personality.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like in was it like stuck with like the human spider? Like in the Raimi movies.
Yeah.
Was he like the Spider-Man Supreme now? That sounds cool.
Hopefully.
The Spider-Man Supreme.
Speaking of Supreme, we got, I think it's Supreme Ultron?
Oh, okay, right.
Or Superior Ultron?
I don't know if you know this, but this is a freaking cool thing that they're doing, right? I've seen concept art.
Infinity Stones in the chest?
Yeah, but in the
It shows it.
yeah, but in the mouth that's Vision.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I wasn't
I
sure
know.
if you knew that, but that's
Yeah, because
that's
no,
so
because
cool.
that storyline there is what if Ultron succeeded in what he was doing and then took over Vision's body.
Yeah, that it's seeing Vision basically wearing like an Ultron suit with all the Infinity Stones in the chest. That's
And
the coolest thing I've ever seen.
bro has a goddamn weapon as well. Like he has like some sort of like bladed weapon.
It's like what was I gonna say? It's like that. If they didn't do the Vision thing where they separated him from Ultron in the second Avengers movie, that could have led to that. You know, so
Yeah,
I think it'll be interesting to see if you go back and watch MCU movies. It's like, oh, if they didn't do that, it would have led to this.
yeah. We've also got Black Widow as well, but I'm not sure what storyline she'll be a part of because it looks very similar to her Age of Ultron sort of counterpart sort of thing.
Uh
Apart
huh.
from like her outfit, she's got the
I think I know.
shocker batons
I
sort of
think
thing.
I did read something there. Black Widow, Ultron destroys the world or something, and she's one of like the last survivors.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm. Also, another
Yeah,
thing
that's
about, I was on about the Spider-Man thing a minute ago. I'm surprised that they got Spider-Man in this at all. And I was looking at, oh, he's got the suit from the Disneyland park thing, and I remember just like, wait a second, I'm pretty sure Disney has to make their own suit that's similar but different, because if they use the exact same suit from Homecoming and Far From Home and all that, like, because that suit is basically, it's a Sony property. So I think they use the Disneyland suit and that suit like in the same thing because that's basically their version, so they don't have to do anything with Sony there.
yeah.
And I think it's
Um,
the thing with Spider-Man and Sony. It's like I think they have a contract for live action, and I think they're okay with animated. So anything animated, I think
yeah,
they've got like the rights for. I'm pretty sure.
yeah. There's gotta be, and there might be. I don't know, like what's the full storyline behind this, but there's in the trailer. There's a scene where Spider-Man and Scarlet Witch have a good old battle.
Hmm. That'll be interesting
So
to
you have,
see.
yeah, that'd be interesting to have a look at.
It's interesting now because I didn't know if they were all connected because I've only seen like the trailer like twice, but I wasn't paying full attention. I was just focused on a few other things, and it's interesting to be like, okay, all these little individual storylines, they're all gonna collide now. So it's just
Yeah.
like I didn't expect that. Like I don't know where this show's gonna go.
Mm. Also another scene in the trailer. Um, it seems that Hulk is at some sort of like airfield or hangar sort of thing. So it might be him like fighting off the zombies as well.
Uh huh.
Because they look when he like does his like slam like onto the ground, you can see like a lot of like what do you call it? Um, like I guess shadowy figures like in like they look pretty dead, I guess.
Uh huh.
Like zombies.
I might
So
have missed that.
um,
Side note on zombies, I've got the perfect thumbnail
okay,
for
so
this video. Zombie Iron Man. I'm
oh,
gonna put that as the
oh yeah.
thumbnail.
We've got the Asgardians on Earth
Mhm.
facing off against I guess Shield from what it is because it's Loki standing against in front of Fury.
Mhm. I need to find. Hang
But
on. Hang on. Let me get that picture up. Yeah, it's like. It could be if like, what if Loki won in Thor? Maybe. What if he became king?
yeah, that might be the whole thing of like the Thor party, like the party sort of thing. Because I've been hearing things about like a storyline where, for one of the episodes where um Thor doesn't get banished to Earth, but
Yeah.
instead he holds like the quote unquote biggest party in Midgard, I guess.
Oh, I think I did hear something about that. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a home dog, Howard the Duck.
Uh-huh. Good to see Howard in
Or should I,
something.
or should I say, our home duck,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Do you think it's gonna be voiced by Seth Green again?
Um, maybe.
Because pretty sure Seth Green has done it twice.
Well, Seth Green does a
That's,
lot of he does a lot of voice acting for Adult Swim. He came back and did the little robot for one episode in Bad Batch. So I don't think it would be weird if Disney didn't go out for him, because Disney knows
yeah,
what the fans want. Disney knows like what the fans would notice. They'd be like, "Oh, that's not Robert Downey Jr. That's not Seth Green. They should have got so and so from that." It's like people would dead notice. Plus, I think Seth Green's not like someone who'd like. He's not like really loads of money that you need. Like for example, say if you wanted to cap or something, you
yeah.
have to pay him loads of money because he's high up. Seth Rogen's not. No, Seth Rogen, Seth Green. He's not one of those people, so I reckon that he'd do it.
Hmm. We've also, I'm just going through like the trailer right now. I've obviously skipped some parts, so I don't know the full storyline of. We've got like Captain Carter again, with what seems to be some sort of magic sword, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because it's got like symbols on it, and it's got like it's glowing, so that could mean something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We got her beating the shit out of people. Yeah, okay. Right here, what I'm seeing, Captain Carter and what seems to be evil Doctor Strange having a bit of a confrontation,
Uh-huh.
having a bit of a talk to each other, and then, yeah, just having a fight, I guess.
There's something
Uh,
that I really hope that the show takes advantage of / does in the future, just in case there is a season 2, because I don't think there's any doubt that this show's not going to do well.
oh no,
I'm pretty sure.
definitely do well.
I'm pretty sure the little stuff like you got that stuff on Disney Plus is like Marvel Legends, where it does like a recap of, say, Loki just before Loki drops. I haven't watched it, but I'm pretty sure like it is successful for them to do more of it. I think this will
Yeah,
do well, because anybody in the right mind, if it just says Marvel on it, people will watch it, right? Um,
yeah,
I think in the future, because at the moment they're doing a lot of stuff like, what if this character was this? What if this character did that? What if that character became this? Why that's cool as a concept, I think they should explore a lot of things like, like we said earlier, just like what happened if Hela actually won in Ragnarok and she wants to take over the Nine Realms and all that in Midgard. Like, what would happen if then? And I something I've seen a lot of people point out, which I think is a genius idea. What happened? No, what happens if in Infinity War the other half of the universe is snapped? So, say for example, all the heroes that we see survive in Infinity War, they're the ones who get snapped, but all the ones that are snapped away, they are still alive. What would
yeah,
happen then? I think that would be really cool.
yeah. But I think they might, like, I know what you mean there. But I think they might do like what the thing that they might just stick by the comics.
Uh
Because
huh.
there are like the what if comics, like those that exist. They're like that's probably one of my favorite comic like storylines
Mhm.
of all time.
Yeah.
And so they might stick by that because rather just having okay, you know what, we'll just have this as an idea.
Yeah.
We'll try and work in it. They already have a pre-established idea from a comic. They could just work that into a TV show,
Yeah.
into an
I think
episode.
that's good. I think they should also just explore those other possibilities as well.
Yeah. And then like say if they do that, so say what you said, like, you know, what if the other heroes got snapped and the others stayed? After they did like an episode on that, they can work that into a comic,
Yeah.
and then they can sell it again.
Mhm. It's
Yeah,
like that they get It's like they could always do like their own creations as well. It's like how they've done
yeah,
like Tony Stark on Sakaar. It's like they could do stuff like that, and then let's just say if that concept gets really high praise, they could always do a comic book relating to that, or Easter eggs,
mm,
stuff like that.
yeah. Do you think we'll get? You know, what'd be cool with
Mhm.
the Tony Stark thing at Sakaar. What if we get like um Beta Ray Bill? 'Cause that would be cool.
They did say that there will be a bunch of surprises and I don't doubt that they'll use characters that we haven't seen before.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is there any characters that are used in What If that we haven't seen before, like completely new characters, or is it just people that we have seen before and just different
Oh,
variations?
I don't think they would put like unknown characters. Well, sorry, not unknown characters, but characters we haven't seen in the MCU yet in the
Yeah,
trailer.
yeah, especially like
Because that'll be like,
yeah,
oh yeah, this episode has this character.
yeah, especially in the
Sort of thing.
trailers. I hope that they do. I just said do lot. I hope they do like some
Bloody
new
hell.
characters as well. You know, just to keep it sort of
Yeah.
fresh. You know, like if a different character was in this situation, would see this character involved. You know,
Yeah.
I hope they do that.
Going, yeah, going back to the Black Widow thing for a bit, how, she might be like one of the last survivors.
Yeah,
Um, I've paused it on this here. So it seems that he has like a shield, right?
yeah,
What seems to be Captain America's shield, but instead of the white, red and blue. I mean, yeah, it's what seems to be like grey, red, and like I think like black in the middle. In the middle, I guess.
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
So it's got like, it seems like it's Captain America's shield, but instead of like his colors, it's got like grey, red,
Yeah.
black in the middle,
Mhm.
and like little grey like indent, well not indents, but like sections around the outside of the shield,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll send you a screen cap
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I
So,
can.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Also, yeah. I think they could do something with like a apocalyptic Black Widow with that because all I know is that she's gonna be in the one where like Ultron destroys the world or something. I think it's called like should be salvage other things. If that's sort of what you mean, by like a different shield and all that.
yeah.
I think that would be like really
Um,
cool for them to explore. And also, I spotted something in the trailer right here. There is um there was Ego. I saw that.
Killmonger's part of the what do you call it? What do you call it? He's fighting with the others in Wakanda, so that's pretty cool.
Uh-huh. It's like I'm interested to see where they go with Killmonger, especially if they're involving Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Also, can we take a minute to appreciate how good this show looks in terms of like
It looks
visuals?
exceptional.
Because you know how I love my visuals, right? It's just it looks like a comic book, as in it genuinely feels like someone's took the exact scenes of a comic book and just made them animated. It's like the colors pop off screen. It's got really amazing visuals. It really does. It's just the animation style. It just feels like a 3D comic in the ways that they're sort of. I think that's might be intentional. Like in some parts of the animation, it does look very straight out of a comic book. You know, it's sort of with Spider-Verse's style, where
Yeah.
all the animation kind of looks like they're from a comic book. And the way they're drawn and
Yeah.
everything, it's just the colors look amazing. Visually, it just looks really, 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 really well done. It's like I'm looking at a bit here from where it's Janet Van Dyne in the quantum realm. I don't know where this storyline's gonna go, but it just
Wait, what?
yeah. No, I think this is some. It's got to be the quantum realm, and it's a figure. And I'm just guessing it's Janet Van Dyne because she was stuck in a quantum realm in the movies. But it's just
Take a picture.
yeah. I'll screenshot and send it to you on Discord.
Oh wait, it's the one that's like it's got the back turned to us.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess.
that one.
Yeah, that. Oh, I remember now. Yeah.
It just looks really like the colors
Also,
pop.
who-
Everything looks
who's the,
amazing.
Who's the head in the jar person?
Oh yeah, what the hell is that?
And then you've also got, I believe, Hulk in a new, like, well, should I say apocalyptic Hulk
Uh,
joining, like, because it might be part of, like, the Marvel Zombies sort of thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's, Bruce Banner's got, like, fingerless leather gloves and, a sleeveless top.
Yeah, I need to have a look at that a bit more. Actually, could you screen that to me? I'm intrigued to see what that looks like now.
Yeah, hang on, let's try and get to
I think I might know who's the
Maybe
head.
got
Is
maybe
that
got some
head in?
stains in it.
Yeah, I saw that when like it was all shat at the end when it was going to the title. Is that head in the jar Scott Lang?
I think it might be.
It could be. I'm pretty sure that Paul Rudd's in it.
Oh, what else? Eric Killmonger as Black Panther.
Wait,
Oh,
really?
Oh, they're fighting the Yondu and Star-Lord, should I guess? T'Challa Lord are fighting the Collector.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting to see. It's like the events of Guardians 1 would be completely different if Star-Lord, like, if someone else was Star-Lord. Like, it's kind of difficult to explain, and it's also, I think, one of the storylines I'm really excited for, it's like, because Loki's whole entire character is that he wants to rule, and you never really get to see him a chance to rule, so it's like...
Just before...
Yeah.
Ego looks like he's on Earth.
Uh-huh.
Because he looks like he's in like some sort of diner, and like, you know, the chairs are up, so it's late at night.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I was quickly saying about the Loki thing. It's like, it's interesting to see what happened if Loki finally gets that chance to rule. And I'm pretty sure that whole arc thing is going to be about Thor 1, because there are a few shots in the trailer where you see Thor in like his Thor 1 appearance, and you've also got, you know, the first time you see Hawkeye in Thor 1 where he's aiming his bow, you see that shot replicated in animated form.
Yeah.
And there's also a circle shot where they're going back to the first Avengers as well, so it's interesting to see like what they're doing with there, because a lot of storylines I know, and some of them I really have no idea where they're going to go with.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I don't want to research too much into it, where I want to walk into an episode and just be like, I don't want to be like, oh, this is an episode where this and this and this happens. Like, this is the possibility that will happen in this one. I want to walk in and be like, oh crap, okay, so they're doing that if this happened. You know, I don't want to... I think this will only be a few things where I'm not going to look in too much. And sometimes it's like Spider-Man No Way Home. I can't help myself but to look into it because of what's rumoured to be in that movie. I think this one, I want to sort of sit back and just wait it out a little bit. Because it's out very soon, so I don't want to look too much into it. Because I want to be surprised. Jane, you still there?
I'm still here. Sorry,
Hey.
I forgot I was on mute.
Oh no, it's okay.
I sent you the Hulk thing.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I think. Oh, yeah, that must be the thing that you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Mark Ruffalo's coming back as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not too picky about if so-and-so actors come back, because they're obviously going to get a different voice actor to play them. While it'd be nice to have them back, it's like, you know, if those actors don't want to come back and do it, that's fine, you know?
Yeah, and plus, you know, we know that the contracts are up, so...
Yeah, and it's like, as long as we got the characters in those shows...
Yeah.
You know, imagine if they didn't want to come back for a live action. That would be a big deal, but since it's animated, it's not really connected to anything in the grand scale of the MCU, it's just like, you know, as long as we get the characters in there, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm really warming up... what were you saying?
I was going to say, don't think there's really much to talk about at the moment, or anything more to talk about, eh?
Yeah, and we've basically gone over, like, a lot of stuff. Final word on this, I think it's a concept that at first I wasn't too bothered about because it was not something I wanted. You know, when you get stuff like, it's like with Loki, it was like, oh, I don't need that, Loki's dead now. But then they give the opportunity to basically give reasons why it's being made and the concepts behind it, and it's like, you know, that's really interesting. And that's exactly how we're looking at this now. It's a really interesting concept. and it just looks really good. I really like the animation. It's very Star Wars Resistancy, and while I haven't seen that show, I know what the animation looks like. I know some people are probably going to hate me for that, and I haven't seen Star Wars Resistance, but I do really like its animation style, which I know a lot of
Don't
people
worry,
don't.
neither have I.
Why is it bad?
No. Oh, no, no, I mean, like, neither have I, as in, like, I haven't seen it.
Oh, I thought you said I have.
Oh,
My bad. But yeah, I just
what do you...
it looks really good actually. It just Marvel's really up in their visuals. I know it's animation, but like live action have really been up in their visuals and just I've got to be a little bit of credit to Marvel here. It's like people
Marvel's done exceptionally well this year.
this is we're getting stuff basically every single week, every single month. More or less every single week, definitely every single month. But in the past, people have been like, Marvel, your villains sometimes can be a little bit forgettable, you need to up your visuals, and they've listened to that. We've gotten some really good villains recently, minus like one or two, but like they're fully listening to what we want. And I know this isn't what if, but you know how people would be like, oh, Abomination wasn't that great of a villain, oh, so-and-so wasn't that great of a character, but the fact that they're bringing back Abomination and
The reason why Abomination wasn't that much, it wasn't that built of a character in Incredible Hulk was because of the writing.
yeah. And I think it's cool that they're... Sorry, what were you saying? I cut you off there.
I was gonna say, then we're gonna get him in, what do you call it?
Shang-Chi and She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And it's like they're like, okay, you weren't a fan of that old villain, we'll bring them back and we'll give them some really cool storylines, we'll give them some really cool moments, and then we'll basically, next time you go watch that movie, you'll be like, okay, I've really warmed up to this villain. So that they're not just having, every single movie it would be like, villain shows up, villain dies, villain shows up, villain dies, villain shows up. It's like they're using old villains now to basically up them and make them better. I like how they're bringing back old characters now, and I'm surprised that most of them actually want to come back. Not that they don't like it, but it's just like I never in a million years thought that Darcy would want to come back, or even Natalie Portman would want to come back. I thought they weren't going to do that storyline. And when it was announced in 2019, I was like, oh crap, Jane Foster, they're doing this, and she's coming back.
And speaking of, what do you call it? She-Hulk. That's who she is. Yep, that's her name.
That's her name. Yeah.
Did you see that? It's gonna have that sort of like Deadpool vibe sort of thing. How, breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, I think I've seen some people saying like, oh, they're just gonna copy Deadpool, but it's like, it's a new thing that's not done a lot. Yeah, it's give me any new concept, because the MCU recently have been doing absolutely amazing concepts. Plus, have you heard that this isn't 100% confirmed, take this with a grain of salt. We might as well just cover a few MCU things just to beef up the runtime of this. Plus, it's interesting to talk about. It's just that Daredevil is rumored for She-Hulk.
Oh yeah. And
one of those reasons why it could just be for people just saying it just to get views and stuff, but if you think about it, it's a lawyer superhero, and it would make sense for him to show up there.
Yeah.
It's like Kevin Feige said in the past that we want to use characters where it makes sense for them when they show up, and it's like, instance, Daredevil was definitely going to be in Spider-Man 3 now. It's been talked about so much. I guarantee you he's in the movie. Courtroom scene. That's a great place to use him.
Yeah.
And it's good that they're finally like using heroes that we've been asking for to come back in the right places as well. Because
and especially like bringing in the heroes that we've been asking for as well, like Blade, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, all that. And then, the little hints to, like, future projects like the Young Avengers, Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to touch on Spider-Man for a bit? Because we had a bit of a talk about Spider-Man a couple of days ago.
Yeah, we can talk about Spider-Man first, but also real quick, this is just, I'll take 2 seconds on this. Yellow Jacket is coming back for Ant-Man 3.
No way.
Yeah, he is.
Didn't he like, pull a magic trick and disappear?
Well,
he shrunk too small.
man did pop, But you know, they could always do something related to
Wait,
quantum realm stuff.
did they say like Yellow Jacket as in like the villain Yellow Jacket, or as in like the mantle of Yellow Jacket?
I think the actual villain Yellow Jacket.
Okay, because in the comics, Hank Pym, or like one of the Ant-Mans, not Eric O'Grady, one of the first two,
Yeah.
takes the mantle of Yellow Jacket.
Well, I was one of the people who think Yellow Jacket wasn't that bad of a villain. I thought it was just okay. But if they bring it back and they give him some really cool, interesting storyline stuff, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, I'm pretty sure when they're done with Abomination and like She-Hulk and Shang-Chi, Abomination will be like built up a little bit on like the best MCU villains list. And obviously when they do small stuff with Agony Harkness and Yellow Jacket now, and you know some other villains that they've got planned, I'm pretty sure Justin Hammer's going to come back for Armor Wars. These old villains that are like quite forgettable, they're going to be like quite, you know, they're going to be built up the scale a little bit. People are going to be like, oh yeah, he's probably like one of the best villains now because of the stuff that they're doing with him.
Yeah. Why is it that they always turn the mantles of Ant-Man into villains? Like, because you know how like with Ant-Man, like Hank Pym, he's, you know, he was Ant-Man, he was Yellow Jacket, he was Giant Man, and then he was also, what was it, Goliath?
Goliath was Lawrence Fishburne's character.
Yeah, Bill Foster, but I'm pretty sure there was a time where Hank Pym was Goliath.
I'm pretty sure there's a time in the comics where Hank Pym was everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, Hank Pym was Goliath at one point.
Uh-huh.
And then, you know, in the movies, they turned the Yellow Jacket into a villain, they turned Goliath into a villain.
Yeah. Well, it's like when they made Tony Stark make Ultron instead of Hank Pym. It's like, it's a change from the comics, but it works for the story.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. It's like, I'm not bothered if everything's 100% comic accurate. It's like, Loki's a great example. Sylvie, it's always Lady Loki in the comics. It's basically a version of Lady Loki, but not the exact character, and Sylvie's great.
Yeah, because what, I think the actress and confirmed, and also the director confirmed that Sylvie is her own character. She's not Lady Loki, nor is she, well, she's not fully Lady Loki, nor is she Enchantress.
Yeah.
She's like her own sort of character,
Yeah.
which is interesting, which I like because
Yeah.
you know, it's like
I really
they're not
like...
pulling, they're not pulling it straight, and they're not pulling it straight from the comics. And plus, Sylvie's an amazing character.
She is. She, like, really, like, makes the show.
She kicks ass.
She does. Like, she, like, well,
Literally,
I've
she kicks
rewatched,
ass.
I've rewatched a lot of episodes, and she, like, curses a lot, so I relate to that. I relate to Sylvie. Not obviously, obviously that's not the only reason why I like her as a character, but it's just, you know, she just kicks ass.
Yeah.
But did you want to cover some Spider-Man stuff while we're here?
Gladly.
What did you like to cover? Go on.
Well, the just let's talk about that plot again.
Oh wait, should I get it up?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I saw something this morning, and I'm pretty sure it's most likely fake because of the way it was written.
Uh-huh.
See if I can find it. I'll find it and I'll read it out if I can.
You talk about like the different grammars, some bits being incorrect. Because I think that might be.
There's a lot of.
I think that might be because like it was translated, so that's why it's like in the leak
Yeah, maybe
it mentions Green Elf instead of Green Goblin.
Yeah, I was gonna say Green Elf.
I was planning to make a video about just this whole Spider-Man leak, but we might as well do it here. So I'll go through. I'll read in the entire leak. So
Yeah. Hang on,
This-
before that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Apparently, Spider-Man No Way Home has filmed multiple endings so that the cast don't know who lives and who dies.
which I can actually see happening because you got Tom Holland on set, so yeah, man would probably get something slipped.
Yes.
So this isn't anyone watching this little plot leak quotation marks. It's not 100% confirmed. it's just a rumor, but it's from reliable people who have been wrong in the past, but mostly true. So, still take this with a grain of salt, but I'll go through it. So this is what the plot leak says. Peter's life is ruined after his identity was revealed at the end of the last movie. He is now facing trial. Matt Murdock is his lawyer. Peter goes to Doctor Strange and asks him to cast a spell to make everyone forget that he is Spider-Man. Something goes wrong with the spell and they break reality and bring 5 Spider-Man villains of other dimensions to the MCU. Green Goblin from Spider-Man 1, Doctor Octopus from Spider-Man 2, the Sandman from Spider-Man 3, Lizard from Amazing Spider-Man 1, and Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2. So far, what do you think of that?
Pretty good. That's pretty solid.
It is.
I guess.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's like.
5.
Yeah, 5. It's like, well, the league does say at the very end. Spoilers. They have no idea who the 6th member of the Sinister Six is, but there is a 6th member. But I'm pretty sure it could be Rhino, maybe. But like, it's one of those things where it's like, it sounds very believable.
Paul Giamatti, Rhino.
I don't like any of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 villains, but if it suits the purpose for this story, then I'm fine with them being in there.
Just bring in Paul Giamatti just by himself.
Well, if it's just Paul Giamatti, he's the 6th member. It's just the actor. it's just the actor Paul Giamatti, but it's
just Paul Giamatti.
It's just him. It's
Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Sandman, Lizard, Electro, Paul Giamatti.
And it's actually revealed that he's actually the main villain. It's just Paul Giamatti. He's just the main villain. I'd love it to be that. But
does like the stereotype. He does like the cliche thing. I'm just like, he was wearing a mask the entire time.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like, it's interesting, but on execution you really need to nail the execution to get this. Especially if Paul Giamatti playing Paul Giamatti is the main villain, you really gotta nail that execution. You gotta have a reason for him being there, but so far I think it's okay. So, going on to say, Norman Osborn is talking to the others, asking what the last thing they remember, and they all say Spider-Man killed them. Now, this is where you lose me. All say Spider-Man killed them. Paul Giamatti, Rhino, Lizard, and Sandman, they're not dead.
Well, we don't know, actually, because, well, I mean, and with Amazing Spider-Man 2, Rhino and Spider-Man, which doesn't have a friendly, good old fight, and then it just cuts.
True, but...
So who knows? So who knows? Spider-Man could have put Paul Giamatti into the fucking ICU.
Well, to be fair, he was swinging around that, road, that sewage... What's that thing that he tore out the ground? When you get those little...
Manhole?
Yeah, he did swing that manhole, pretty, hard into his head, so, he could be dead for all we know.
Yeah, but the whole thing of oh yeah, these characters are dead. Sandman technically didn't die.
Yeah.
He just phased out of existence, I
Plus,
guess.
Sandman and Lizard, they're cool with Spider-Man now.
Yeah.
So they could be like, what's the last thing you all remembered? Sandman's like, well, I was chilling with my kids. And Lizard's like, well, I was just living out the last years of my sentence in prison. And I'm chill now with Spider-Man, so can I stay here? Can I just go home? So it's, please do not mess up the Sandman character, please, because I really like Sandman.
I'm looking at the IMDb cast for Spider-Man No Way Home, and Tom Holland's brother, Harry Holland, has been casted as drug dealer.
I did see that, to be fair.
Not drug dealer 1, not drug dealer 2.
No, maybe that's the 6th member of the Sinister Six.
Maybe that's it.
He's playing a multiverse version of Jesse Pinkman.
Jesus Christ.
We got Green Goblin, Doctor Octopus, the drug dealer.
He's a variant.
he's just a variant of Jesse Pinkman. I'd love that. And what else did it say? Doctor Strange wants to take them back to their original dimensions, but the villains fear that returning would mean that they would return exactly where they came from, meaning they would die again. Norman Osborn manipulates Peter into freeing them, making them feel guilty for their deaths. Peter Strange and breaks the key brackets a cube that held them captive, and the villains are now free. They start destroying parts of New York, and to stop them, Peter somehow brings Toby and Andrew into the MCU. Somehow, I'm guessing it's.
Somehow.
I'm guessing the leak knows, but it's being very vague about it. It's like writing each act as a synopsis, which I'm fine with. You know.
I'm not sure if you've gotten up to it yet. No, yeah, you have. Peter fights Strange and breaks the key, like the cube, that's captive.
Yeah.
And now the villains
The
are free.
Rubik's Cube, yeah.
Here's an idea. Don't fight near the cube.
Yeah, I mean, Doctor Strange, you can, like, you know...
Why are you fighting in the first place?
Yeah, I know, just
yeah.
sort of just... I mean, let's be fair, Spider-Man's no match for Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange can just get us, like, what? Doctor Strange can just, you know...
Literally just, like, you know, one of those holes that he put Loki in Ragnarok. Just stick him in there for a timeout. Or just put him in one of those, like, prisons that he puts the Spider-Man villains in.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure if you can handle the entire Sinister Six, just put Spider-Man in a few magical prisons, but... What else does it say? There's a big rematch between Toby and Ock, and between Andrew and Electro. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So... They say, like... Because, you know, Green Goblin, right?
Yeah.
They say that in the leak, they say he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
But then they go to say that Norman manipulates Peter into freeing them. So if they're talking about Norman Osborn, there's either two Norman Osborns in the movie, or someone else is playing Green Goblin.
I don't think that they have enough time to set up two Norman Osborns.
Because how is Norman Osborn gonna, like, you know, manipulate Peter? If one, he's fucking dead. Two, he's in some sort of prison where he has no other contact.
True.
This just confuses the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I think... I do strongly believe that he is the main villain, but, like, I've seen a bunch of other plot leaks where there's going to be two Norman Osborns. I do not believe that. But, yeah, the final battle is at the Statue of Liberty with the three Spideys fighting the Sinister Six, and that's basically the end of it.
Yeah.
It's a mashup between a bunch of other different leaks, and, like, a lot of what's being said is basically, like, a bunch of, like, what's being said in that quote-unquote leak is what a lot of other different people are saying as well, so... I'm not going to hold out everything in that being true, because different people can hear different things. You know, back in the day, I saw an Infinity War plot leak, and they got, like, a big chunk of it right and a big chunk completely wrong. So, you know, I reckon a lot of that is what's going to happen, but not exactly in that way. You know?
Yeah, I guess we just have to see what happens.
Yeah, it's always interesting to read plot leaks like this.
We may get the trailer in August, because a lot of the pop figures are releasing it around like the 1st of August.
I reckon it will be late July. I reckon they're gonna wait until Black Widow is out, Loki's out.
Yeah. Early July, late early August, late July.
Don't worry, dude, I stutter as well, but I hope they don't leave it extremely late. I think August is too late, June was too early, July is just right, and I reckon maybe in the next 2 weeks. That's just my guess. It has to be in July at some point. It has to be. I can't see them waiting all the way until August, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's...
Speaking of other movies, Matthew Vaughn's new movie, Argyle, has a
cast
A-list cast.
And it looks insane.
Henry Cavill, Samuel L. Jackson, Bryan Cranston, Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, John Cena, Catherine O'Hara, and Dua Lipa.
Yeah, like...
It's kind of hot, not gonna lie.
There was also another I think it was Chris McKay who had a movie coming out, and I think the cast was something had like Bale. Hang on, let me have a look real quick. I know this isn't anything Marvel, but you know it's interesting to bring up. So, Chris McKay
Hey
cast.
viewers, if you're complaining that this ain't Marvel, deal with it.
Yeah, just skip to the very end or go watch something.
Go play Wolfenstein, I guess. I don't know. Go kill some
Adam
Nazis.
McKay, that's his name. Adam McKay. What was the cast of his new movie? So let's have a look. Yeah, like Matthew Vaughn. I love Matthew Vaughn as a director. Right, he's done Kick-Ass. He's done
Vaughn's awesome.
Kingsman. Yeah, he's done Kick-Ass. He's done Kingsman. Like, he's done some great stuff. And the cast for
Matthew
Adam.
Vaughn is
Yeah, the cast of Adam
done
McKay's
some
new
fucking
movie
amazing.
is yeah. The cast of Adam McKay's new movie got DiCaprio, Chalamet, Jonah Hill,
You still there,
Streep.
buddy?
Yeah, can you not hear me?
You're cutting out a lot.
Hang on, let me unplug my mic. How am I? Am I good?
I can hear you now.
My mic wasn't plugged in
Hello?
properly. Hello?
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, that's my stupid ass internet. But yeah, Adam McKay's new movie, he's got stuff like DiCaprio, he's got Timothy Chalamet, he's got Jonah Hill, Meryl Streep, Kate Blanchett, Ariana Grande, Matthew Perry. Like, what a cast. Jennifer Lawrence as well, like, what the hell? Excuse me?
Oh, damn.
I know, it's pretty... I envy that, to be fair. Imagine just, like, the stress of just working with all these big actors, you know?
Chris McKay is awesome
And,
as well.
yeah, like, wasn't he doing, like, discussions he's doing, like, the Tomorrowland sequel or something, which no, not Tomorrowland, the Tomorrow War?
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrow
Tomorrow
War.
War.
Yeah.
Tomorrow War 6. Because he's done, like, Lego Batman movie, Lego movie, and...
Yeah, did you...
Yep.
Yeah, speaking
Oh,
of... Yeah,
He's done a lot of Lego movies.
yeah, but, like, then none of them are bad. There was a leaked plot of, the Lego Batman 2 before Warner Brothers came and fucked it over, where it was about Batman dealing with, the Justice League members and Lex Luthor was the main villain or something like that. Because, obviously, fucking Warner Brothers fucks everything over.
Fucking Warner Bros. I tell ya.
I know, Warner Brothers is, like... Warner Brothers is basically... Imagine a What If episode of What If Disney was...
What if Warner Brothers didn't fuck over him? What if Disney bought it?
Yeah,
What if Disney bought, like... What if Disney bought DC? That'd be pretty cool.
what if Kevin Feige worked at the DCEU studios? You know, I want to see
What
it,
if
that
Feige
alternate
had two
timeline.
jobs?
I mean, Kevin Feige, he's like producer, he's writer. Kevin Feige, he's got like 100 jobs.
Yeah. Like, what if we both worked at Marvel and DC?
Do it, I'd say. Do it. You know, we need someone competent at DC running the place.
Like, even, like, Ben Affleck has, like, given props to, like, Kevin Feige for his movies.
Yeah.
For the movies, so...
Yeah. Just, you know, sorry, that was my mum coming and telling me good night. Because, well, it's very early for you, but it's very late for me right now, so... That was my mom. I was there. She was talking quietly, and I was there, like, reassuring, like, I'm on a podcast, and then she was like, okay, and we started speaking loud. I'm like, Mom! Your keys are downstairs. Mom, I'm on podcast. Okay, your keys are downstairs. I love my mom though. She's cool. But yeah,
Shout out to Finn's mum, guys.
shout out to my mom. She probably doesn't know already what I'm
Don't know.
talking about.
Probably doesn't even watch this, but shout out to your mum.
I always come in and be like, Mom, my podcast got so and so views. Oh, that's nice. It's the same with my
She
dad as
doesn't
well.
watch it. There we go.
Well, my uncle probably watching this. My uncle watches all of our podcasts.
Shout out to your uncle again.
Yeah, my uncle, like, he tells me just that he watches all of these through. Like, he eats, like, he says that while he's doing work, he puts all of them on. Like, he hasn't watched any of The Winter Soldier or The Mandalorian. and because we did a few bits of Mandalorian, like all of Winter Soldier, he's caught up to speed now because he knows what's happening. He doesn't need to watch the show anymore.
He can just listen to us, and we'll
He
we'll
doesn't
tell
have
him.
he doesn't have Disney Plus, so he just like says like I like listening to you talk about stuff, and I
He
appreciate
doesn't
that,
have
man.
Disney Plus, but he has Disney Us.
Yeah, oh. He has Disney Us.
That was bad. I'm gonna
No, no,
shoot
that was
myself in the
funny. That was
foot.
funny. That made me laugh. That was Disney Us. It's just us three fucking guys just talking. Well, two, because Robert's in bed. But
Yeah.
yeah, are you
Yeah.
about ready to wrap up?
I'm ready to wrap up.
I've really enjoyed this one actually. Not like I don't enjoy Cass, but I enjoy just having you and me in the room. No, not like I don't like Robert, but you know, I enjoy a one-on-one sesh. You know, I've had fun tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys very much for joining us, especially my Uncle Scott. We love you so much. Thank you for listening to our podcast.
Shout out to Uncle Scott.
We
You
love Uncle
absolute
Scott.
mad,
We
you
absolutely,
absolute mad dog.
we stan Uncle Scott. Can we get a
Can we get an Uncle Scott chain in the comments?
can we get some fan art? I know you guys don't know what he looks like, but you know, just imagine, use your imagination, give us some
Just use. Come on, guys! If you listen to our podcast, you've got some great creativity. So
hashtag we
use that to
stan
go
Scott. Hashtag we stan Scott.
yeah,
Keep that train in
um,
the comments. But yeah, wait, were you gonna say something?
yeah. Send it via what do you call it? Hashtag we stand Uncle Scott on Twitter.
We stan Uncle Scott. I might just send him this little segment. I'll
Make sure to tag me in it.
even though it's not about you, just tag me in it as you want to be included. I might
You
just,
don't have Twitter, so
I have Twitter, but I never use it.
well, what the fuck? Tag Finn then. Jesus Christ.
I never use it. There's too much controversy and chaos on Twitter. I never use it, but I'm gonna send my uncle this last little segment of it. I'm gonna send it to him. I just send it in via WhatsApp. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next one.